I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Thursday, February the 28th, 2013. Jewish leaders and American Jewish organizations are speaking out against the recent statements made by Turkish Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan, where he referred to Zionism as a crime against humanity. Erdogan was speaking to an Alliance of Civilizations event of the United Nations in Vienna yesterday about the need to better understand the culture and beliefs of others in the face of growing discrimination against Muslims in Europe. He said, "We see that people act based on prejudice and exclude others and despise them. And that is why it is necessary that we must consider, just like Zionism or anti-Semitism or fascism, Islamophobia as a crime against humanity." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu strongly condemned Erdogan's remarks, saying this is a dark and libelous statement, the likes of which we thought had disappeared from the world. The American Jewish Committee called Erdogan's comments a vile assault aimed at nothing less than delegitimizing Israel. AJC Executive Director David Harris said Erdogan, who has previously displayed hostility towards Israel, had descended to a new low. Calling Zionism, which is the foundation of the Jewish state and the movement for Jewish self-determination, a crime, Harris said, is both appallingly intolerant and dangerous. The Anti-Defamation League said it was horrified by Erdogan's statements. ADL National Director Abe Foxman said in the past, the Prime Minister has carefully distinguished between his deep animus toward Israel and his condemnation of anti-Jewish sentiments. To now link Zionism, a nationalist movement for a Jewish homeland akin to that which brought about the modern Turkish Republic, and hatred toward Jews, Muslims, and fascism is a gross misunderstanding of Zionism. Foxman said the statement echoes the reprehensible 1975 UN resolution equating Zionism with racism. B'nai B'rith International said the Turkish leader's statements were deplorable and also referenced the 1975 resolution, saying Erdogan has reintroduced this insidious charge to the UN environment. They called on Erdogan to apologize for his remarks and urged the UN to condemn them. The intermediate autopsy report from Israel's health ministry on Arafat Jaradat, the Palestinian inmate who died in an Israeli jail last week, found no evidence of poisoning or any evidence of physical violence. The report did list fractures to the ribs and hemorrhages on the skin, consistent with attempts to resuscitation attempts. Prison physicians and Magen David Adom medics did perform resuscitation on Jaradat for nearly an hour. Jaradat died on Saturday of what Israeli officials said was a heart attack while imprisoned at Megiddo prison. But the Palestinian Authority claims he was tortured. The health ministry said that Israel's Abu Kabir Forensic Institute will continue to conduct tests to determine Jaradat's cause of death. Jewish former Chief of Staff Jack Lew was sworn in as U.S. Treasury Secretary today after winning bipartisan support in the Senate. The Senate approved Lew on Wednesday with a strong bipartisan majority of 71 to 26, with 20 Republicans voting for him. In addition to serving as Chief of Staff under President Obama, Lew also served twice as Chief of the Office of Management and Budget under Presidents Obama and Clinton, and as a Deputy Secretary of State also under Obama. Lew replaces Timothy Geithner, a former regulator with the New York Federal Reserve, who left the Treasury last month. The Israeli embassy in Washington hosted the launch of a new congressional grouping dedicated to improving Israeli, Greek, and Cypriot ties. The Hellenic Israel Caucus is being co-chaired by Florida Representatives Gus Bilirakis, a Republican, and Ted Deutsch, a Democrat. The congressman said that through the alliance, they hope to highlight how the relationships between the three countries and the U.S. are critical to maintaining economic stability and national security. Israeli Ambassador Michael Oren addressed the new caucus, promoting the shared economic and strategic interests among Israel, Greece, and Cyprus. And Christos Panagopoulos, the Greek ambassador to Washington, said cooperation among the three countries would bring peace, stability, and prosperity to the region. And finally today, a mazal tov to Yityesh Einau, the 21-year-old former Israeli army officer who became the first Ethiopian-born Israeli to be crowned Miss Israel. Einau came to Israel with her brother when she was 12 after her parents passed away. In the course of the Israeli beauty contest, Einau cited American civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as one of her heroes, saying he fought for justice and equality, and that's one of the reasons I'm here. I want to show that my community has many pretty qualities that aren't always represented in the media. She also told the contest judges that it was important that a member of the Ethiopian community win the competition for the first time, saying there were many different communities of many different colors in Israel, and that it's important to show that to the world. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Thursday, February the 28th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.